'Twas the afternoon before Christmas, and all through the mountain not a creature was stirring, except Brock Purdy's accountant. The statistics were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that Nick Wright soon would be there. The quarterbacks nestled all snug in their huddles, and the placement of many left us befuddled. And Tua with his dancers and Goff with his hands, we say Merry Christmas. Here's Mahomes, Mountain. Merry Christmas, everybody.
That was great, KW.
Excellent, Kevin.
That was really good.
Outstanding.
One confession, I did not write that. That's actually a famous poem. Wasn't all me.
That was really
That
good.
was all you.
It's really well done with the Wilds.
I love the
And
mountain.
I hope, listen, the Mountain is going to live up. The Mountain this week, massive movement. And what you're normally 28 quarterbacks on the Mountain, 4 off the Mountain. 32 team league.
Yeah.
This week, let me show you who's off the Mountain. You're going to count more than 4. Well, of course, McCorkle Jones takes his normal spot off the Mountain.
Fair.
I don't know what to do with Anthony Richardson.
I do.
They did score 38 points.
Jonathan
He also
Taylor did.
completed 7 passes. He's got to stay off the Mountain. And then those 5 teams, it really seems not to matter who's playing. You know what? It's a DTR, fine. Mason Rudolph, fine. Whoever the hell the Giants tossed out there, Drew Lock throwing pick sixes.
like Drew.
The Raiders and AOs, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. So that means we have 4 potential either vacancies or new guys to the Mountain.
Ooh.
So let's go to the 7th row. Lot here. Russ,
Love it.
doing too much, my friend. Purdy, doing the exact same thing as last week, throwing a back-breaking interception with the win on the line. Rodgers, he scored, the numbers were good, except for, of course, points, which was 9. Shador and Cam Ward, welcome to the Mountain. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Here's what I do know. All of those teams off the Mountain, if it's like their quarterbacks, like, hey, you can have either one of these 2 kids coming out of college, they race to the podium. So they're on there. Kyler, again, no good.
Great.
And then I put Joe Flacco on there, and here's why. I think they're going to go back to him. I think they win this week, potentially have the playoffs on the line in week 18, and they're like, we just can't do it with Anthony Richardson anymore. Not this year. So
Super Bowl champion.
I think Joe Flacco with the Colts,
Yes.
and them still alive.
You would go to Flacco?
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen. Row 6.
What?
Listen, I'm sorry, CJ. It's sophomore slump. It's official. Sophomore slump. Bryce Young. Another good performance. He trucked a guy, which I read the NFL bylaws. That guy's got to retire. Cooper Rush. Where's Greg Jennings when you need him? Bo Nix, Mountains Fair. Not a big Bo Nix believer, but even in a loss, he can move up. Drake May, Mountains Fair. 1 awesome half, 1 truly horrifying half. Stays where he is. Michael Penix. The numbers do not do justice to Michael Penix's game. You see 0 touchdowns, 1 pick. He threw a perfect pass to Kyle Pitts, who Pitts then just handed to the defensive back. So it should have been a touchdown and it'd be an interception. I thought he played well. 5th row. Sorry, Bake Show. You didn't even play that poorly, but you had to win that game. Made the 1 critical mistake. Bake Show's my guy, Mountains Fair. So you know what stays where it is? Caleb Williams. What a gritty performance against the right now, once again, Super Bowl favorite Lions. The Chiefs got to be Super Bowl favorites for a day. All of a sudden, Lions back up there. Wilds believes in them. Wilds thinks that team's got the best vibes in the league. Caleb says, how about 380 yards for your vibes? Few touchdowns. Once again, no picks. Jalen Hurts, we saw what happened to Saquon once Hurts went out. Like the whole team could focus on the run, Saquon's second half. So I get Jalen and Tua. Getting the Mountains Fair. Tua, now, do the Niners count as a good opponent? I don't know. But I know that they've got Brew's favorite quarterback, and Tua outdueled him. 4th row.
he did.
What a row. So here's the thing. Aside from Stafford, every single guy on this row, particularly Herbert and Jaden, had performances this week that deserve to move up even further. But the top 6 is just too crowded right now. But I got nothing bad to say about any of these guys. Stafford's team has won 8 of 10. He is out. What, Brew? You're always wincing.
I'll wait.
You're always upset about Matt Stafford. I'm sorry. I like Super Bowl champion quarterbacks. Justin Herbert with the best win of his career potentially this past Thursday. Jaden locked up Rookie of the Year. Jordan Love didn't have gaudy numbers. They won 34-0. What more do you want from him? Third row. Listen, I'm sorry, Josh Allen. You got to slide a bit. This is, not a good game against the Patriots. I know CBS Sports tried to convince us that that interception in the end zone was actually a savvy play by you, but it was just an interception in the end zone. I feel terribly that Goff couldn't move up. But I don't know where I would move him. I moved up Darnold. Listen, do I think Darnold's better than Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, Justin Herbert? Probably not. Certainly not Matt Stafford. But his team's 13-2. He threw a game-winning touchdown pass. He's been playing awesome, so he moves up. Again, no biases with the mountain. It's fair.
Yeah.
Second row, Lamar, the monkey that Bruce said did not exist. Lamar removed from his back, at least temporarily, with the win over the Steelers. And Joe Cool has the Bengals alive. Another excellent performance. Another 3-touchdown, 250-yard game. And then Patrick Mahomes heroically climbing the mountain on one leg, getting the team this close to the bye. I think it's 15 touchdowns, 3 picks since they acquired DeAndre Hopkins. Finally got Hollywood Brown back. Saw that offense really start to click against a pass rush I was told that could beat them. I don't know why Brew had to clear his throat that loud. No, he's doing the Patrick Mahomes soliloquy. Coach, I know you love the mountain. Come on, Coach. We've been on the same side so much lately.
I feel so badly for those college kids that you throw on the mountain.
Thank you, Coach.
It's like the kiss.
You feel bad when they're going to be drafted?
It's like the kiss of death for those guys.
Saying you're better than Mac Jones and Will Levis is not exactly a high expectation.
We saw how that worked out with you.
Oh, yeah. The guy can't throw a pick.
But I am glad that you did.
Setting records.
You did bring up Sam Darnold and Jaden because they should be easily switched. And in the spirit, you don't agree with that?
Well, I want to hear it.
Well, in the spirit of the rich tapestry, let's just talk about some of the things that Jaden's done now. First 10-win season since 2012. Best start since 1991. They were 4-13 last season. The Vikings, now they won 13 games 2 years ago. So it's a pretty good organization, pretty good coaching staff. Vikings have better weapons. Vikings have a better defense. They're second in scoring defense, where Washington's 18th in points allowed. So let's look at them head-to-head here. And so completion percentage, Jaden's better. Total yards per game, Jaden's better. And you're saying, wait, total TDs, Sam's better, which he is, but he's also a lot worse in turnovers. He's got significantly more turnovers than Jaden has. So then let's just talk about last week. Okay, so last week, Sam throws 3 touchdowns against the 17th ranked defense. Jaden throws 5 touchdowns against the number 1 ranked defense.
Sure.
I think that's pretty significant. And then you have the wow factor, where this is the 3rd time this season where Jaden's done what a lot of people weren't sure, and typically rookie quarterbacks can't do. But let's also just take a look at Jaden over the last 3 games. I know that Nick likes to see the complete picture. So over the last 3 games, they're averaging over 30 points a game. Every single category he's improved in, and I don't know how you can compare the two. And I guess you just have a soft spot for Sam.
Well,
I mean, he has been doing it for 7 years longer than Jaden has, but whatever.
Can I tell you the truth, Coach?
Tell me the truth.
I've been accused at times being more than a Sam Darnold skeptic, Sam Darnold critic.
Sure.
Someone that said I wasn't gonna be.
Sam Darnold hater.
Haters probably. I don't talk about him enough to be a hater, but I certainly wouldn't be considered a Sam Darnold fan. And it's possible I overcompensated. You made a very compelling
case. That was a great argument.
You just made a great argument, and as I think I've proven,
it must be the holiday
over the
season.
course of the mountain, if
is
someone makes a compelling argument that makes me say, "Wow, we got that wrong," or "I got that wrong," I should reconsider. I'm open to doing it. So, Coach, I might have gotten that wrong. I should reconsider. I wonder if these guys can make equally compelling arguments.
Great question. Great challenge.
I fear
standards been set
this.
at all.
I fear making this statement for risk of messing up the chemistry of the show. How old's this show?
I mean,
7 years?
The show,
7 years?
7.5 years.
It's the worst mountain I've seen in my, I don't know if the show has been, the mountain's 7 years old, but since I've been coming on the show.
We've been doing the mountain for 2 years.
Is it only 2 years old?
Yeah, 2 years.
Worst mountain I've seen in 2 years. I second what Coach said. The youngsters, my gosh, leave them alone. Shador, I love
want
Shador.
vacancies?
Ward, leave,
like
yes, vacancies. We saw it hurt Caleb.
It didn't hurt him.
But here's the thing, Purdy's way too low.
Oh my, Purdy was there
You
last
had a nice little stretch of unbiasedness a few months ago.
when he was playing.
And now this is completely. Matthew Stafford, can we stop the Matthew Stafford
my
love?
God, you're not comparing.
wild
Matthew
argument.
Stafford has a quarterback rating of about 80 with 1 touchdown and 1 interception over the last 2 weeks.
One of those
He
weeks,
has
didn't
been
he outplay
bad.
Purdy?
He has
and
been
beat him?
Hold on. He has been bad.
Yes.
He threw 1 good pass that game, which did win the game. But Matthew Stafford has been bad the last few weeks. Period. Caleb has 9 straight losses.
I'm doing Caleb.
Okay,
You stay on
get
your
him
Purdy
down
thing.
there. Nah, I mean, my goodness, he scored 3 points against
What
the
does it have
Patriots.
to do with
Okay,
Brock
I'll leave
Purdy?
it alone. Brock Purdy has a higher passer rating than the entire row above him, and a few other guys. Put the mountain back on. He has a higher passer rating than everybody on the row above
not
him,
passer
and
rating,
several
Mountain.
of the. He has the same number of touchdowns, 17, as Geno Smith with 5 fewer interceptions. How about that, huh? How about that? He's got the 3rd in the league in yards per attempt. He's 13th in total yards. Like, I'm not saying he's having a year he had last year, but to have him down there with Joe Flacco, below Bo Nix and Caleb.
Those guys are playing better.
No, they aren't.
Bro.
Caleb can't buy a win. The
Neither
same as
can
like
Purdy.
Bryce Young
Purdy.
has a passer rating of 76.
All right.
What are we doing?
All right.
This is a terrible mountain.
All right.
It's horrible.
All right. Here's the problem.
It's Purdy embarrassing.
Yeah, we
That's
saw
what it is.
Here's the
My
problem. bro.
gosh.
That Purdy-Matt Stafford duel that you were referencing so
Dude,
much.
they both were
That
bad.
game, okay, great. And Purdy in that game, with the playoffs on the line, threw a pick to cost his team any chance at continuing their season. Then this week, he followed
threw for
it
300
this
yards
week,
and 2 touchdowns.
This
What did
week,
we just? That doesn't matter.
Well, let's be
You keep
fair on what he
saying
did.
Tua outdueled him, did he?
Yes.
Now
because-
quarterback wins matter.
No, again, Brew, I very politely listened to you.
It's not.
But no, because I think people might not have watched the game, so I want to tell them what happened. They were once again down less than a touchdown. The ball was in Brock Purdy's hands, and he once again threw a pick to finish the game. At that point, by the way, he didn't have anything close to 300 yards. Then when the Dolphins,
he did.
No,
He was like 250, 260
yeah, exactly.
at that point.
And then the Dolphins got the 2-score touchdown, and he got some garbage time yards at the end. When in
Why were they
back-to-back
even in the
weeks-
game?
Not because of him.
Really?
Like,
His 2 touchdown passes didn't matter?
Bro, no, honestly, if they were going to say why they were
had
in the
their
game, it was
four-string
because
running back.
Deebo Samuel finally played great. But regardless, I'm
Really?
not.
Did he score?
Yes, he did.
Won, huh?
Yes.
From Purdy, right?
Yes, the
Oh.
receivers catch
Oh.
the passes from the quarterback.
I thought he threw it to himself. About his mountain.
So, no, Brew, he's not going to move up.
Caleb is
when-
surrounded by Avengers.
I'm doing Caleb.
All right, have at it. Have at it.
Is Purdy 1-5 in his last 6 games or
Yes.
1-4? What are
Yeah.
you doing?
It's not. You're the QB wins guy. You're not
No,
supposed
but I
to
am
be the QB
game
wins
one
guy.
interceptions. He
Ended the game.
Caleb has. I could go off on Caleb. Go ahead.
Then you should have chosen Caleb in the Google
Well,
Doc.
you chose him before me.
I don't think Caleb Williams should be this high. Brew outlined several reasons, but I understand the rationale, okay? Played okay against the Lions.
played really well.
Did he?
Yeah.
When did he start playing well? After the 2
once it
fumbles
was
by
over.
his offense?
Yeah, once it
When it
was
was 20-0 and the Lions said,
there's-
cruise control.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah, now it's Caleb time.
That's right.
Once it cruise control.
Once it's over.
Caleb time. And I understand, you know, I'll tell a little story. I got a buddy of mine.
Is this a negative Caleb graphic?
No, this is just neutral. I say I got a buddy. Loves to cook. If you're gonna buy him something for his birthday, get him some flatware. You know, get him something to cook with, even though that's what you eat with. He might ask you like, "Ooh, You go over his house and have a great dinner. None of it's delicious, but he just loves it. Moral of the story is this: just because you do something a lot doesn't mean it's necessary you take the other jump to having it be good overall. Caleb's hasn't thrown an interception. Well, my goodness, that's usually the recipe for success. It's one of the best streaks of all time, Brew. And you have some of the winningest quarterbacks in the history of the NFL on there. Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr. Aaron Rodgers is super accurate. Tom Brady, oh my gosh, guys throwing darts, he's the GOAT. Goff has been accurate. Oh, another Tom Brady, Herbert, Derek Carr, and then Caleb, who has lost 9 games in a row. But you might be thinking, well, Kevin, he is accurate though. He's not throwing interceptions. Are you sure? His completion percentage is 36th.
Oh.
Anthony Richardson, Bryce.
Anthony Richardson's at 47?
And he only throws 7 passes a game.
I mean, that's a tough one.
As I've said,
Look at Trevor.
take some shots, man.
What he did
live
in this
a little
game,
bit. I know Josh did the numbers. Josh crunched the numbers.
And this
he said he
game-
does take a lot of shots
Yes.
down. But having this be like
rush.
argument number 1 in the Caleb is
It's not
having an awesome season.
That's not argument
Not necessarily
number
for you. But in the Caleb narrative, including Caleb's
Go on.
autobiography, he's like, I haven't thrown an interception in
What
so
do you-
long.
no.
Man, you're losing 9 games in a row.
All
Is
right.
that 4
Try
number 1
switch it
overall
up.
draft picks on that terrible completion percentage thing?
Yeah, and they all were ahead of
So,
Brock.
Prince, Bryce, Jameis, yeah, Caleb.
So here's the thing.
Cooper Rush.
The-
Cooper Rush was not.
I'm not as concerned about the interceptionless streak. I said to you guys before the game, I think it'd be fine if you threw a pick. I am interested in how you're playing. And as you showed against a Lions team that you think can win the Super Bowl and you think
I think they
defense
can
is
win it
not dead.
50
you
to
think
35.
no, that's not what you've said. Because you believe defense wins championships, you believe the Bills can't win because of their defense, but the Lions can win.
Fair point.
That when you do that, and again, the first
17.
fumble was a group project fumble. If you want to put it on Caleb, that's fine. Put it on the running back, that's fine. I think it's both. The second fumble was he's nowhere near the play. He's a completed pass down the field. The guy fumbles.
I just can't move up on the mountain. You're going to move Joe Burrow up. Joe Burrow's flying around like Superman.
Joe Burrow moved up.
I understand. Joe Burrow's winning games, and I was still giving Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's fine. Having a great season. Team's mediocre. You can't move up as going into a game and leaving with your 9th straight loss. It's just insane.
Okay, just. All right, listen, Coach, you made a compelling argument. I would move Jaden if I could do it again. Brew's argument makes a ton of sense if Brock Purdy hadn't lost in the last 2 games with game-losing picks. Wild's argument is just a Drake May argument.
It's not.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.